Come closer, children. Sit with me for a moment. I am 95 years old. When you reach this age, the way you look at the world changes. It's like standing on a mountain peak, looking down at the valley. I see you all down there, running, rushing, sweating, chasing, but mostly I see you falling into pits that you've dug for yourselves with your own hands. The world you live in now is 10,000 times more convenient than the one I grew up in. You have machines for everything, and yet you look more tired, more fragile, and more burdened than we ever were. I have lived nearly a century. I have outlived almost everyone I ever knew, and I've realized that what truly destroys a person isn't usually a sudden, giant disaster. It's the small, quiet habits you think are no big deal. Today, I'm going to pull the mask off these hidden killers. Please listen carefully. This might be the most important thing an old woman ever tells you. Some of these habits are draining your life force right now as we speak, and you don't even feel the leak. The first thing, stand up. I see the way people live now. You sit at a desk, then you sit in a car, then you sit on a sofa. You sit for 3, 4, 5 hours without moving a muscle. You call it working. I call it slow motion suicide. Your body was never designed to be still. Your blood vessels are like the irrigation ditches on a farm. If the water flows, it stays clear and feeds the crops. If the water stops, it gets murky. Silt and trash build up. When you sit for over an hour, your lower body essentially shuts off. Your blood gets thick. Your heart has to strain twice as hard to pump that heavy sludge back up to your brain. When I was young on the farm, we were on our feet from before dawn. We didn't exercise. We lived. Even now, at 95, I never sit for more than 20 minutes. I get up to pour a glass of water. I stretch. I walk to the window. Children. The chair is the most comfortable poison of the modern age. Don't let your life rot in a seat cushion. Second, look at what you're putting in your mouth. I walk through your grocery stores and I see boxes in bright colors with words like low zero sugar or high fiber. You think you're being smart. You think you're being fat, don't you? But when I look at those boxes, I don't see food. I see a chemistry experiment. Anything that can sit on a shelf for 2 years without rotting isn't meant for a human stomach. Those protein bars, those flavored yogurts, those healthy, frozen meals, they've been stripped of their soul by machines. They are packed with preservatives, dyes, and things I can't even pronounce. Your body doesn't recognize those chemicals. It has to spend double the energy just to filter the fake out so it can find the real. Stay away from the factory and stay close to the dirt. Buy things that still look like what they were when they grew: a carrot with some mud on it, a piece of fruit with a bruise. If the ingredient list reads like a mechanical manual, put it back. Your stomach is a temple, not a laboratory. Third, stop lying to your tiredness. I see you when you feel that dip in energy. You don't go to sleep. You go to a coffee shop. You buy a giant cup of caffeine or an energy drink in a silver can. You call it getting a boost. I call it forging a signature on a check your body can't cash. Fatigue is your body's way of crying out for help. For help. It's saying, hey, I can't keep up. I need a moment. When you blast it with caffeine, you are cutting the wire to the alarm system. It's like your house is on fire, and instead of putting out the flames, you just smash the smoke detector so you don't have to hear the noise. You think you're winning time, but you're just stealing from your future. In my 95 years, when I was tired, I stopped, even for 10 minutes. I closed my eyes and let my heart slow down. That is respect for life. Pushing through isn't brave, it's foolish. Fourth, put down that little glowing box. I don't understand it. I see people at midnight with dark circles under their eyes, still sliding their fingers across that screen. What is in there? A funny video, someone else's dinner, a stranger's opinion. That blue light is telling your brain a lie. It's saying, it is high noon. Stay awake. Stay alert. It steals your deep sleep. It steals your immunity. It steals your ability to dream. But most of all, it steals your connection to the real world around you. The night belongs to the stars and to your dreams. Every night, I turn off the lights and light a small candle. I read a few pages of a real book. When my hand touches the paper, my mind settles. Children, don't hand your soul over to a cold electronic signal in the dark. Switch it off. It is the greatest act of mercy you can show yourself. Fifth, drink some plain, warm water. I see young people drinking coffee, soda, milk tea, and juice. Everything except water. You say it has no taste. But listen to me, your body is made of water, not soda. When you don't drink water, your cells are like parched earth in a drought. Your skin shrivels, your brain gets foggy, and your kidneys feel like they are dragging through sandpaper. Look at this glass on my table. It is simple, yes, but it is the greatest medicine ever created. Every morning, I drink a glass of warm water first thing. I tell my body, we are starting the day clean. We are staying clear. 6. Stop keeping everything inside. The world asks so much of you today. Mortgages, promotions, expectations. You've learned to grit your teeth. You've learned to smile in public and collapse in private. That invisible stress is like high pressure gas trapped in a bottle. If you don't let it out, eventually the bottle will shatter. So many illnesses, the tumors, the heart failures, the unexplained pains are just bottled up care that had nowhere to go. It's the anger you didn't voice, the tears you didn't cry. Find someone to talk to, or just have a good cry. In my journey, I learned to admit when I was overwhelmed. I learned to ask for help. When the burden is shared, the body becomes light. Don't be so strong that you destroy yourself. And finally, the seventh and the most painful one, stop saying later. I'll start exercising later. I'll visit my parents later. I'll take that trip when I have more money. As someone has lived 95 years, as someone have more money, I can tell you the hardest truth. Latter is a ghost. It might never show up. I have stood by too many hospital beds and heard people regret the things they didn't do. They weren't sad about their work. They were sad about the laters that turned into nevers. Life is a one-way ticket. Every no is the youngest you will ever be for the rest of your life. Bad habits thrive on the idea that you have plenty of time. But the most fair and cruel thing about life is that it never tells you when the clock is going to stop. If you want to change, do it this second. You might be sitting there thinking, Opal, this is hard. My life is so fast. I can't do all this. I'm not asking you to be a saint by tomorrow morning. Life isn't a 100-meter sprint. It's a marathon that lasts decades. You don't have to jump over every pit at once. You just have to recognize where the pits are. Sit 30 minutes less today. Eat one more green vegetable. Go to bed 10 minutes earlier. These tiny changes are like pennies put into a bank. If you do it for 10, 20, 40 years, they turn into a fortune that buys you something money can't time. I've seen too many young people spend their first 40 years trading their health for money, and their last 40 years spending that money to try and buy back their health. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't negotiate. Some bills you just can't pay. All right, I've said my piece. You have big, big things to go do, don't you? Important meetings, busy schedules. But from where I'm sitting at 95, nothing is bigger than the air in your lungs and the beat of your heart. Protect your body. It is the only thing you truly own in this world. Stand up, drink some water, go look at the sunset. Live, really live.